After 90 plus years, India got whitewashed at home for the first time. After 70 years, we lost a series to New Zealand at home. And after 12, 13 years, we lost a test series at home after that 2012 loss against England, right? Welcome to the Gautam Gambhir era. My good friend Love here is a big fan of Gautam Gambhir. We all are to an extent, but we need to ask some hard and tough questions of the kind of performance we saw, ever since, or the performances rather, ever since Gautam Gambhir has taken over. Love, there are I have got 6, 7 different stats that I can read out.
Yeah.
How we lost to Sri Lanka, after 27 years, a bilateral ODI series.
Right.
And there are many things to talk about, but I'm not going to go into too many stats because I'm sure you guys must have also seen it. Now, what do you make of Gautam Gambhir's era?
To be
in Indian
very
cricket?
honest, Siddhant, when Gambhir was appointed as Team India head coach, I think I was one of the happiest people around because I'm a great admirer of that guy, and I know that the kind of cricket culture he brings to the team, that speaks volumes for itself. Yes, I think because he won the IPL title with KKR, that was the turning point in his career when Jay Shah actually approached him and said, "Ki bhai, take over as India head coach as well," because
No,
Rahul
but
Dravid's tenure
Jay,
was coming
Jay
to an
Shah
end.
had approached him even before he had won the title for KKR.
Yeah, exactly. Now my point is, winning an IPL title is a lot different from winning matches for India.
Why was I not thinking about this earlier, Love?
Because the thing is, at that point, it was all rosy, right? And everyone thought that Gambhir was the guy. Because at that time, if you remember, India was also not winning anything. It was Rahul Dravid's last assignment when he actually won the T20 World Cup. But then at that point, we all thought that Gambhir is the guy India needs. And I'll still say this, I'll still stick by the fact that Gambhir might just be the guy that India needs. Hear me out here.
Okay. Then I'll make my
When
point.
Gambhir was appointed the T20 international captain, we have been winning everything, right? We whitewashed Sri Lanka. We then won a couple of series at
Coach,
home.
you are talking about coach.
Head coach, right? So at that time, Gambhir was actually allowed to pick a team of his own. You saw those youngsters coming in. You saw Riyan Parag also making his debut. You saw Mayank Yadav in there. You saw every other guy.
And then getting injured.
That's a separate story.
Yeah.
But now, when you talk about the ODI side or the Test side, I think those are the teams that have just been given to Gautam Gambhir. And if I think after the World Test Championship final, he gets a chance to build those teams, I think that would be the real judgment of Gautam Gambhir, the head coach, when he actually brings in his own guys in the team. And then if the team doesn't perform, I think we'll have to keep it at that and we'll have to give him that much of a time. I think it's too early to comment and say that it's because of Gautam Gambhir that we lost. What was
I'll
your
come back to
senior
you.
players doing
I'll
there?
come back to you on this. Listen to me. You are saying that he might not have got his guys. You look at the coaching staff.
I knew you were about
You
to
look at
come.
that coaching staff. Everybody that Gautam Gambhir asked for is there. There's Abhishek Nair, there's Ryan Deshkate, there's Morne Morkel. BCCI gave him a free hand, and I think it is based on selections also. Yes, you cannot just with an instinct that he thinks that this player can be dropped. You cannot do that also. You have to have some justification for dropping a player, and that may follow later. But you have to look at guys that he got, everybody that he wanted as part of his support staff. Okay,
I have a counter for that as well.
you can't drop big names right away. Maybe in the future you have to take those tough calls, and maybe Gambhir will. I will leave it to that if he gets that opportunity first of all. Because let me say it, guys, if India loses that Border Gavaskar trophy badly, I'm not too sure whether Gambhir will continue as head coach. Because it's not the first assignment that India is losing badly. Nobody thought this Indian side, okay, that has been so dominant over all these years, could lose a series to, of all teams, New Zealand, who lost 0-2 to Sri Lanka previously. They come to India, beat us 3-0, a feat that has never been done before.
Right.
You have to ask some tough questions of Gautam Gambhir also. At the end of the day, we question Rahul Dravid's whatever strategy, whatever thought process he had when he had certain people or whenever India was losing. And mind you, Rahul Dravid never lost this badly. Gautam Gambhir has just started off, and Sri Lanka, we don't lose to Sri Lanka
I'll give you a couple of counters for that.
so often. Yeah, go.
So now, since you're talking about the coaching staff that he has brought with him, do you think that an Abhishek Nair or a Ryan Tendashkarte will actually go up to Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma and teach them how to bat? No, right? You cannot teach your senior players how to bat or your senior players how to bowl.
I agree.
So why are we just blaming Gambhir and his coaching staff first?
No, blame
Second,
the seniors also, but Gambhir also deserves blame.
absolutely, he does. But I think he is actually being made a scapegoat over here because Gambhir, he in his short career as Team India head coach, we are judging it too quickly.
Oh, I'll tell you why.
Second,
I'll tell you why. Okay, second. You first make a point. Then I'll come
Second,
back.
since you raised that concern about why this is, look, everyone expected that Gambhir will actually be a solid head coach, but then there hasn't been any coach who has done this poorly. Yes,
we all thought.
but then here's Justin Langer, who actually started coaching Australia and they lost miserably. That included that Border Gavaskar trophy as well. But then look what he did after that. They persisted with him. He won them the Ashes. And then they won the World Cup under him as
T20
well.
World Cup.
So I think you'll have to give Gautam Gambhir time as well. Let him try and rebuild this team from the scratch. Yes, he will bring in guys who are performing well with the bat. I think from domestic cricket as well. There's this guy Sanju Samson, right, who's constantly playing domestic cricket and he knows how to play on rank turners because he has been playing on those tracks. But then you cannot get him in because there's no place. Let Gambhir build this team and then we'll talk.
See, I agree, but I think we have got a decent sample size. And talking about Langer, by the way, Langer still was doing well. He lost that series to Australia, but that was not towards the end of his career, end of his role as the Australian coach. It was towards the earlier stages.
He took over after that sandpaper gate saga, right?
Yeah. So my assumption with Gambhir is, or was, let's say it, we all thought it's going to be all rosy. He's taking a team which just won the T20 World Cup. Confidence is super high. We are going to win everything now. We're going to now go for the World Test Championship final. As Indians, we were all gung-ho about Gambhir taking over as the coach, right?
I'm still gung-ho.
I am not
Can
gung-ho.
I quickly come in with a point here?
Go ahead.
Since we were talking about the T20 side and I mentioned that he actually built it from the scratch, the first decision that he took after being the head coach was that he appointed Suryakumar Yadav as the
Captain instead of Hardik
right?
Pandya.
And Hardik Pandya's form also returned and he's smashing it in T20 International. So I think he can take those bold calls and which may also work out well for the team. But when there are such seniors around whom you cannot say anything, Gambhir cannot tell Virat Kohli or Rohit Sharma कि भाई ऐसे shot खेल, नहीं हो सकता. So I think
no, but that is all. No, tell me something. But hasn't that been the case with every Indian side in the past? You know, when say Anil Kumble took over, of course he had a different issue with Virat Kohli. Okay, let's not. Anil Kumble is a bad example, guys. Cut that. Okay, not Anil Kumble. Okay, got to say, even before Anil Kumble, Duncan Fletcher, for example. Do you think Duncan Fletcher was telling Sachin Tendulkar or somebody else in that team
you didn't need
how
to tell them, no?
So I'm saying that will always
But
be
you
the case.
have to tell Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli how to bat in tests.
I genuinely think that seniors deserve a lot of blame, but Gambhir deserves some blame for strategy.
Absolutely,
also.
he does.
For strategy. Why prepare a turning track when your
Agreed.
Indian batters can't face spin properly? And then you are disagreeing when you ask that whether Indian players are good players or spin or are they struggling. When they were asked if Indian batters are struggling against spin, Gambhir said, no, I don't think so. So if you are not going to be able to agree or accept that fact that yes, our batters are definitely facing challenges, especially our top batters, the best ones. And you need to find a way to rectify those mistakes. I think first you need to accept that. Second thing is, why prepare a turning track, boss? We have seen this time and again. Every time India has prepared rank turners, they have also been at the receiving end. We have seen close finishes in the past where India, it was coming. Even against England, we were struggling when we prepared turning tracks. Dhruv Jurel bailed us out once. The first test you lost also against England because it was a turning track. So these things can happen every time. It has happened also.
It has. But then I still feel since we are talking about Gautam Gambhir,
I think you need to change your strategy.
Here's your captain.
Prepare good tracks. I'm saying prepare good tracks. Your spinners, because they are better world-class spinners, they will get more purchase out of these normal wickets.
But then, when
even
the
Glenn Phillips is like
agreed.
Agreed.
But when the ball was swinging in Chennaswamy,
prepare a good track that lasts for 5 days. Either you are
for 5 days.
either you are preparing full swing wicket where Indians will struggle,
And mind you,
or
India,
full spin wickets where we'll struggle again.
India won the toss, and then they opted to bat on in those swinging conditions.
Whose idea was that? And then Rohit said, "Oh, we read the pitch wrong." Arey bhaiya,
And
ho
you're
gaya.
blaming Gautam Gambhir.
No, but who you think Rohit alone read the pitch and said we will bat first?
But Rohit came out and said, "I take the full blame."
He can't throw Gambhir under the bus. Like Rahul Dravid, by the way, this is the first time I'm very happy that Rohit Sharma fronted up the camera after a loss. Most of the time before in the past, you would see Rahul Dravid coming out and talking to the press after we lost that 2023 ODI World Cup final also. That has happened in the past.
But I think
But at least I think Rohit
what should we
accepting
take out of this?
that Rohit is
That
accepting.
he's accepting his mistake.
But
So
how does it help us?
How
I
does that
agree.
help us? Exactly my
How
point.
does Gambhir's decision help us?
You tell me, how does Gambhir's
It
decision
did not help us. We lost badly.
What was Gambhir's decision in that?
Put spinning tracks for the
It
next
was
two tests.
Gambhir actually came up to him and told him that I was the one who.
Okay, you think Gambhir was not one of those key decision makers?
One
before-
of those, agreed.
Who else?
I agree, but then you cannot put the full blame on Gautam
I'm
Gambhir.
not putting the
like
full blame.
Most of the people are actually.
I'm putting 50% blame at least.
50%?
50%,
I
50%
think
on the batters.
I'm not going into percentage here, but then yes, collectively as a thinking tank, they have to be blamed. But then just to say that Gautam Gambhir isn't a good coach or he might be fired, I think it's too soon. It's just jumping the gun.
Might be fired, not right now, maybe after Australia. But
how can you put your head coach out before the World Test Championship final? At least till then.
if you don't even qualify for World Test Championship final, what's there to even think about?
Tell me something. Is there only one format that India is playing in? Even if you don't qualify for the World
Sri
Test
Lanka
Championship
ODIs.
final,
That's why I want to remind you Sri Lanka ODIs.
I know.
Gautam Gambhir, I have stats here. After 27 years, guys, we lost a bilateral ODI series versus Sri Lanka. For first time, we lost 30 wickets in a 3-match ODI series. All 3 times we got all out. After 45 years, love, we remained winless in a calendar year in ODI. By the way, this tweet
How
has
many
been going
ODIs did we
viral.
play?
I have no idea. But I'm telling you this. I saw these stats somewhere on Twitter and X as we call it now, because everybody is retweeting them. And the moment you look at it, you're like, "Bhai, kya ho gaya Gambhir ki era mein, bhai?" Like there's so much that has happened. He just took over this year, yeah, and there's like a long list of records, like
Yes, because
worst
the
records
best
that have
guys
been
aren't
broken.
performing. And he
That is what
cannot take that bold call to just come in and drop Virat Kohli.
And I agree with that.
It will send shockwaves.
But I think that Border Gavaskar Trophy, which is coming next, is gonna be a make or break series, not just for the players, for even Gambhir, because we need to win 4 matches at least to have, keep the fortune in our own hands when it comes to the World Test Championship final. If that doesn't happen, we might not even qualify. We were talking about, winning 3 test matches against
There
New
was a
Zealand
time.
and 1 against Australia, and then we are through. We will go
There
to the
was
World
a
Test
time
Championship
before
final.
these 3 test matches, people were actually talking about the fact that who will India face in their World Test Championship final.
And now we are not even sure. We have dropped down to second.
But I
We
still
face
feel if by
Australia.
chance 1% we fail to make it to the World Test Championship
1%.
final,
I think that's a
I
big
mean, I'm just being
percent right
hopeful.
now.
Yes, it is. But then, if we don't make it to the World Test Championship final, I still feel that you cannot just go ahead and sack Gautam Gambhir. You have to give him a longer run. Yeah, come on. We cannot do that to him.
Okay.
Let's see. But I think that's a call for the selectors to make.
Yeah.
And as we know that cricket is a lot driven by fans in India, so you never know. This may come true as well, but you never know. We'll have to
maybe we win 5-0 and we forget all this. भगवान ये 3-0
Let's see.
3-0 we lost against New Zealand. अब ऑस्ट्रेलिया को तो हरा दें यार.
ऑस्ट्रेलिया को तो हरा दे तो ऐसे बोला है as if we are going to play versus Nepal.
We have beaten them twice. Okay, Border Gavaskar Trophy.
Twice, but then we have to win 4 matches.
Let's make it a hat trick. Win 4. क्या पता दोस्तों. Anyway, on that note, please do let us know what you make of Gambhir's era till now. And as Love is hopeful that maybe things will change and it's not right to, question him right away and maybe give him more time. Do you agree with that or you disagree with that? Do let us know in the comments. Please like, share and subscribe as we always say, because encourage us, guys. We love it. We love it when you comment, when you like, when you talk about a certain aspect, that even we have not discussed in our videos, that gives us also some fresh perspective, and we enjoy that. Thank you so much for watching.